Hi guys, we're going to be doing a video on simultaneous equations. So before you start this, you should be solid on how to solve normal linear equations. So just to start, maybe check that you can do this. I'll give you a problem now. Check that you can work out what is okay. So pause the video. Oopsie. Pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too much of a challenge for you. If it was, simultaneous equations is not the subject for you just yet. So to solve this, we're going to try to get x on its own. So first thing we need to do is to subtract 3 from both sides. So we'll go for that. Our next line of algebra is going to say, well, 5x plus 3 take away 3 just leaves us with 5x, and 18 take away 3 is 15. And then we've got 5 lots of something makes 15, so we're going to divide by 5 just to leave us with 1 lot of that something. We need to divide by 5 on this side as well. That gives us x equals 3. Now, the great thing when you're solving equations, you can check that you've got the right answer, and you should definitely do that. So you can check by substituting in x equals 3, whoopsie, x equals 3, and making sure that that is a solution to this. So if x is 3, then 5 lots of x is 15. 15 plus 3 does give us 18. Excellent. So we found the right answer. If that was the right level of challenge for you, then don't worry about watching this video just yet. I will be doing a video on solving equations shortly. If, however, you are ready to move on to simultaneous equations, then keep watching. Start with this. Okay, so if I was asking you to solve this equation, obviously there's a lot of answers to this. X plus y equals 20. Well, I could have x is 5 and y is 15. X is 1 and y is 19. The thing about solving equations is one equation can help you find the value of one variable. So to find the value of 2 variables, we need 2 equations. So I'm going to introduce this next equation, and this gives us a way of solving 2 equations at the same time or simultaneously. So this is how we do it. First of all, just for clarity, I'm going to label each of my equations. I'm going to call this equation equation A, and this equation equation B. And when we get on to more challenging examples, you'll see why that's useful. Okay, so first thing I'm looking for is to get rid of one of the variables, and I can only do that when I have a match. So I have 1 lot of x here and 3 lots of x here, not a match. I have 1 lot of y here and 5 lots of y's here, again, not a match. So what I'm going to do is go, okay, well, if I multiplied that by 3, I could get a match there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply equation A by 3. So 3 lots of that whole equation would give me 3x plus 3 lots of y is 3y would be equal to 3 lots of 20 gives me 60. Fab. Okay, so now I've got a match. I'm going to call this equation equation C. Okay, so now I can go, okay, well, what about C take away B? That would get rid of the x's. 3 take away 3 would give me 0 x's. I don't really want to be dealing with a negative number of y's, so I'm going to do B take away C. Okay. So this is how we do it. We go 3 x take away 3x gives me no x's, 0x, so I'm not going to write anything there. 5y take away positive 3y gives me 2y. And 70 take away 60 gives me 10. Great. 2y equals 10. That means y is 5. Wonderful. I found one of the solutions. Now I just need to use that solution in one of my first equations to help me find the other variable. So I know that y is 5, and I also know that x plus y is 20. So I can substitute in y. X plus, well, y is 5, so x plus 5 is 20, and that tells me that x equals 15. And that's my solution. Now, I told you earlier it's good to check your answers, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to put both of these variables into here. 3 lots of x, 3 lots of 15 would give me 45, plus 5 lots of y, 5 lots of 5 gives me 25. 45 plus 25 gives me 70, so I have correctly found the solution. So now that we've looked at that, time for you to try one yourself. So here's an equation for you to try. I'm going to suggest that you start by labeling your equations. So we'll call the first one A, and we'll call the second one B, and just to help you keep track of what you're doing. So pause the video and off you go. Right, so you've had a chance to try it. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this. Firstly, looking at my numbers, I can see that my numbers don't match, but my y's I could make a match. So I'm going to start by finding a match with y. So we'll go for one solution over here. So we've got, I'm going to double a to give me a match of 4y. So 2 times a would give me equation that we'll call equation C. So 2 lots of 3x gives me 6x, 2 lots of 2y gives me 4y, and 2 lots of 31 gives me 62. Then I can use this with b. Okay, I've got a match, 4y here and 4y here. So I'm going to go for C take away B this time, and the reason is I could get a solution either way, but looking at my x's, I don't really want to get a negative number of x's. I want to keep it positive. If I do x take away 6x, I'm going to end up with minus 5x. Makes it harder to deal with. So 6x take away x, that's the way around I'm going to do it. C take away b. So 6x take away x gives me 5x. 4y take away 4y gives me no y's, that's what I was looking for. And 62 take away 37 gives me 25. So 5x is 25, that means x is 5. I can then use that to go in to my other equation. I'm going into my, either equation actually. I'm going to go into this equation because I think it'll make my life easier. I've got 5 plus 4 lots of y gives me 37. That means 4 lots of y must be 32, and that means y must be 8. And again, I can use my 2 equations to check back in. 3 lots of x would be 15, and 2 lots of y would give me 2 lots of 8, 16. 15 plus 16 does give me 35, so indeed I've found the right solution. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. You might have started by looking at the equations and going, Well, I could make a match on my x's. I could multiply this, I could multiply b by 3, and that would give me a match on my x's. So we'll do it that way as well. B times 3 gives me 3 lots of x is 3x, 3 lots of 4y is 12y, and 3 lots of 37. 3 lots of 30 is 90, 3 lots of 7 is 21, so that's going to give me 111. You can see why I didn't choose this first. This is going to give me much bigger numbers to deal with. It's kind of harder, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. And we'll call this equation 6. Okay, so I've got a match between equation C and equation A. I've got a match in x's. So I'm going to again look at my y's. Do I want to do C take away A or A take away C? Well, 12 take away 2 leaves me with positive 10, so that's what I'm going to go with. C take away A. Alright, so let's go for it. 3x take away 3x gives me no x's. 12y take away 2y gives me 10y. 111 take away 31 gives me 80. 10 lots of something is 80. That means that something must be 8. Great. Notice this has given me the same solution as before. Good. Alright, so now I can choose where I'm going to substitute into. I'm going to substitute that into equation A. It doesn't matter, again, which one you go for. So I've got 3 lots of x, which I still don't know what it is, plus 2 lots of y. 2 lots of 8 is 16, so it gives me 31. Subtract 16 from both sides gives me 3 lots of x is 15. Divide both sides by 3 gives me x equals 5. So they're my 2 solutions and 2 ways of doing it. Hopefully that was useful for you, and yeah, there's plenty of practice questions to find online. I'm going to do another video on simultaneous equations shortly. This was like a basic video. We'll look at some harder ones next time. Okay, good luck. Bye.